Today, Harry Potter Wizards Unite announced that they are going to be having a panel at San Diego Comic-Con next week. And on the surface, this doesn't seem to be that big of a deal, except for if you look at some of the details that are within this release, could lead to some speculation about Community Day and beyond Community Day, actually. So the details are for the panel Friday, July 19th from 2 to 3 p.m. Pacific time at the San Diego Convention Center. This is going to be during Comic-Con. We already kind of knew that that was going to be happening. They're going to be having a bunch of people from Niantic, Warner Brother Games, talking about Harry Potter Wizards Unite, future of augmented reality, the present of augmented reality games. And at the end of this, it says, as they discuss how this immersive gaming experience was created, audience members will also get to hear about upcoming futures for the game. Who knows? Could they be referring to Community Day, which is going to be the following day? It could be a great time to tie in. If you'll remember, when Pokemon Go was released in 2016, it was just before Comic-Con San Diego, and it was a big, big deal. Not knowing what's going to happen exactly says that we could have some speculation, but let's talk about things for Community Day that aren't really all that outside the stretch of reality as to what we can expect. If we look at Community Days in Pokemon Go, and that's kind of really all we have to compare this to, and they are similar type games. One thing that I think we can definitely say for sure are dark detectors are going to last for 3 hours. If you know Pokemon Go, if you're familiar with it, lures last for 3 hours. Lures are similar to dark detectors. So dark detectors lasting for the full 3 hours. On the Pacific Coast, it is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the 20th. So add 3 hours if you're on the East Coast, add 2 hours if you're in the Central Time Zone, and if you're in Mountain Time Zone, add 1 hour. If you're in none of those, I will leave a link in the description below to the release that has the official times, if I can find it, for Community Day across the world. Outside of the dark detectors, it's kind of a guess as to what could be going on. Anything from like a quarter, 25% unlock time on port keys. That would be interesting. Instead of having to walk 10K, you only have to walk, what is that, 2.5K? That would be great. On 2Ks, what is that, like 0.35 or something in that ballpark? Another thing that we could potentially have on Community Day, 3 times XP. I know a lot of people would be really excited about that, because the way you level up is through XP. The more XP you get, the faster you level up. The faster you level up, the more free goodies that you get. One other thing that I think that we could actually see on Community Day would be 2 times Family XP. It should be stated that on Community Days in Pokemon Go, what will end up happening is they'll have one specific Pokemon that will spawn at much higher frequencies. In fact, they just litter the screen, and you will have the chance to encounter a shiny of that. And since we don't really have anything equivalent to that, I think we can fully expect either a certain particular registry, a certain particular family to spawn a lot more frequently, or we could have higher threat levels spawning more frequently. And I'm not saying emergencies. I don't think they're at the point that they just want to start giving away emergencies, but maybe high threat level, maybe higher spawn rates for severes. I wouldn't doubt that. When you combine that with 6-hour dark detectors, that I don't know for sure is going to be the case, but it is a good guess. I would say that your chances, if you can find a nice crowded spot with a lot of ends with dark detectors going, I think your chances of seeing severe and emergencies are going to increase tenfold. Another thing that I think that we could definitely see is increased spell energy at ends and greenhouses, similar to the emergency event that nobody really knows what it was, including me. I didn't notice any difference other than I got my spell energy +2. We don't really have any indication. We could find out more the day before, but my guess is that at Comic-Con they may be talking about FanFest, which is going to be in September. And if you are planning on partaking in Community Day festivities, I would highly recommend stocking up on some Barufio's Brain Elixir. All of these increase spawns. You're going to want to make sure that you're getting double XP, and you never know, they could actually run something where you get even more than just double XP. If you're already getting double XP and you're running a Brain Elixir, I think you'll get 4 times XP. I don't know if that's exactly how that works. I was kind of hoping that I would stay in proximity of this fortress, but no such luck. I'm dropping down the Brain Elixir now because I have to use it for my dailies, and I was going to also battle that tower, the fortress, the Wizarding Challenge. Ooh, that was a good one for Arresto Momentum. Not quite masterful, but so you definitely want to make sure 3 hours. You could get brain elixir lasting longer than the current 30 minutes. If at all possible, I would suggest having at least 6 brain elixirs. In case they only last for the 30 minutes, then you are guaranteed to have brain elixirs running for the entirety of the 3-hour event. Finally, that one took forever to knock down. And you definitely don't want to be missing out. I would maybe suggest taking on some extra rune stones as well if we're going to be getting increased XP. You never know when the towers with the extra XP, who knows? I fully expect spell energy to not be at a premium. I think we'll be able to get plenty of spell energy. The thing is they're going to want people playing for as long as possible. And if people aren't playing because they're running around trying to gather spell energy, then that's not going to be a good look. So I definitely anticipate at least spell energy plus 2, maybe double spell energy. I don't know if they're going to go that far. So you're definitely going to want to find a place where you can have ends. And that means battling fortresses. The more fortresses you battle, the better your rewards are going to be. But the more spell energy that you're going to be using. So keep that in mind. Just kind of tips and tricks. Hopefully you guys can get out there and find a bunch of other people to play with, because your rewards do get significantly better with the better rune stones that you use, the higher the towers that you take on. Ooh, look at this guy. We're gonna go there and there. So the better the towers that you take on with the more people. Ooh, an elite common. I may not have seen one of these before. You're going to get better rewards, and this is Community Day is going to be a really good opportunity to stock up on significant amount of rewards over the 3-hour period. I'm not exactly sure what my plans are going to be as of yet for Community Day. I'm definitely going to do my best to find a group of people to play with. I think 3 is the most that I've battled with, and that was on one of the first days. Well, no. I guess at the beginning of the game on launch day, I guess I also participated in towers, but then here on the Warner lot, I also battled towers with some Warner employees shortly after release, probably the week of release. So 3 is my max, basically, is what I'm trying to say there. I think if you can get groups of 4, groups of 5, you're going to have a really nice time. Make sure that you level up your professions. Make sure that if you are going to battle these towers and you're going to press your luck and go higher up, make sure that you get some different professions in there. I think the going theme is 2 auras, 1 Magizu, 2 professors, and get out there and experience. Look at that, 580 XP. That's great. I love it. Anyway, those are my thoughts on what we can expect to come out of Community Day and what we can expect to come out of Comic-Con. Like I said, I don't necessarily know that they're going to give any kind of announcements for Community Day, since Community Day is going to be less than 24 hours after Comic-Con, but I definitely think we will get some information on, what are we calling this? Wizards Unite Fan Fest in Indianapolis. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That's all that I've got for this one. So until next time.